when I moved to Council Bluffs, at the time I was going through pretty rough time, and looking back, I know that, for a while God was just really knocking on my door and pulling at my heart. But I finally decided to get plugged into a church, and ended up at a place out in Omaha, and really got involved in their college ministry, and started, within a week I started playing on their worship teams, and was just really loving it. I loved how welcome it was. I loved that people wanted to know who I was, and it was just a really great place. But at the same time, when I was on stage, I just soaked that spotlight up. I loved that people wanted to know me. I loved that people came up to me and told me, "Oh, you're such a great drummer. I love watching you." And I just really loved that attention. So, when I was on stage, I more or less put on a show. I did things that, I raised my hands, or I, just did everything out of not a humble heart. At the same time this was going on, there was this girl there that I met who had become a very good friend of mine. She had cancer, and had beaten it, and then it came back. And she was just going through a time in her life where she didn't know whether she was gonna make it through it. She didn't know whether she was gonna live, or or if the doctor was gonna call her and tell her she's got, a month left. So it was a very hard time for her. And I remember being on stage, and it was during worship one night, and I was really acting out, and I was making it look good, and just raising my hands when it wasn't because I felt called to. It was just it was all for the attention. It was all for the spotlight. And I remember looking out and seeing this girl on her knees, just bawling her eyes out and raising her hands. And at that moment, I felt so much conviction, and I just knew that was true worship, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. My soul longed to worship God with a humble heart. But I guess from then on, my whole outlook on worship has been completely different. I know it's no longer about me. I know who it's about. I know I still struggle, with those things, because I am human. But it wasn't until God really made that aware in my life that I was able to change and have a different outlook. I guess so. So after that moment, God really showed me just a lot of things. He showed me that I had been blessed with gifts, and from then on, I knew that I wanted to use those gifts for His kingdom. I knew I wanted to worship God through music, and help others encounter the Holy Spirit through music. I believe that worship is our response to who God is, what He's done in our lives, what He is doing, and what He will do. It is not a duty. Worship can only happen when spontaneous affections arise in our hearts as we reflect upon the character of God. And I believe we worship because God is worthy of our praise. He's worthy to be worshipped.